Hold on. Hi, how's this? Does that sound okay?
Live! Yes, I am live. Thank you, YouTube.
Hello, hello. I'll get started in just a minute. I'm just adjusting and seeing if anyone else is coming in. Thank you guys for joining. Ah! That's better, I think. That's better. Is that blurry? Okay. Why does it look blurry to me? Hi, Milton. How are you? I flew yesterday. This hasn't happened to me in the longest time. Hi, Keith. How are you? Thank you for joining. So I flew yesterday. I don't know what happened. The worst ear pain. Hi, John. What's up? I used to get it a little bit when I was younger. I would have, like, what's that, swimmer's ear? And it happened yesterday. It was awful. Hello from Florida. Everyone's talking about how is it in Florida right now. Everyone is talking about Florida. I even thought about going down there recently. I don't know if I'm going to, though. I like Florida a lot. Well, I grew up in Georgia, so that's where we always went. On vacation was Florida. It's very nice and cool. Hi, Sarah. You back in Cali? No, I'm not. Good here in Virginia Beach. Why does my Siri come on? I think when I say Sarah, it thinks I'm saying Siri. Come back on. I'm back. I went to California to visit for a week, and then I came back to Virginia, and I might be back maybe in about a month or two. I really like it right now. It's starting to be fall, and you don't realize this, but once you're in, I don't know if you feel the same. Hey, everyone. Hey, Lance. I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but I almost get, when I'm in California, you get so used to it, you almost get like kind of a depression because the seasons never change. It's hard to explain. It's obviously nice because it's warm all the time, but it's just day after, it feels like Groundhog Day because nothing ever changes. The seasons never change, and you get so used to it. I remember like being in California and watching TV in December and January, and I'm thinking like, why are all these people wearing jackets? What's going on? You really do forget. It's like a bubble. And especially during the pandemic when no one traveled anywhere. I didn't travel anywhere for almost a year. It was super weird. So it's really nice to have fall. I can feel it's cold in North Dakota, but we have four trees in the state. So I forgot what the beginning of fall feels like, and that's how it feels right now. When it rains, it is awesome. Yes, when some of my favorite times in California, we're having a really nice rainstorm or a thunderstorm because you don't get them very much, and it's lovely. I like it. As long as nothing bad happens, I like it. No damages, that's okay. All right, so let's see. It's hot in the day and cool at night here in Orlando. That's perfect. Sometimes in Virginia, I do remember what it feels like. It's the same in California. Very hot throughout the day, but really cool at night, especially around the beach. And sometimes it messes with you because you think, it's California, it's the summertime. I'm going to wear, well, if you're a girl, you're like, I'm going to wear my cute little summer dress. Hi, Richard. And it's freezing around the beach at night in California. Very cold, but in Virginia, it's so hot and humid, it doesn't really cool down at night when it's like the dog days of summertime. Okay, let's get started. I actually heard this a little bit a few days ago, and it's really interesting because, so I'm going to start out with Barack Obama and some of his comments. So he was criticizing, hello, we the people. Hey, we the people. Hi. Thank you for joining. It looks like there's some newer people here. That's really cool. The only bad part about fall is that you can't hear the mosquitoes dying. That's exactly what I was going to say. Same thing. Okay, so obviously we've talked about this a bunch of times, this insanity that's happening on the border. And recently, Obama criticized Biden's handling of the border, saying that we need better reform and things like this. And a lot of people, Joe Biden breaks his leg at an arm wrestling match. Everyone's got jokes today, huh? I like that. So you threw me off. LOL. Funny. So, it's been a disaster at the border recently. We all know this. It came to head a lot, and for a while, for a few months now, the media has been able to kind of shove it under the rug, so it hasn't really picked up on mainstream that much. Well, recently when there were 15,000 Haitian migrants under the bridge, the international bridge in Del Rio, Texas, all of a sudden everyone started picking it up again. And we finally heard from Barack Obama about the situation on the border. And I actually liked what he said, which I didn't think that I would say. But here's the thing about Barack Obama. When he was president back in the day, he was very pro border security. Like, take DACA. DACA was one thing that he did, but just separate that as far as the security on the border and stopping illegal immigration so they don't jump in line in front of legal immigration. The only reason they haven't locked us down yet is we have Australia is because Americans are heavily... I've been hearing this a lot lately, what's happening in Australia. So 15,000 and that sort of came to weigh, and the news couldn't really deny it anymore. And what I was saying about Barack Obama is back in the day, he was pro border security. He championed, I can't remember if it passed or not, so correct me if it did, he championed a bill that in his eyes would have been the biggest bill regarding border security ever in the U.S. history. And he was very vocal during his presidency. Did you see that Officer Tatum video? Oh, yes. You asked me about that. I'll get to that in just a second. I can show a little bit of it if you want to. I'll show some of it. It's pretty funny. It reminds me of some guys that we have in West Hollywood who do the same thing. But he was very pro border security, and this is what he said about what's happening right now. So he said, it says, former President Obama called for comprehensive immigration reform to fix a dysfunctional system as the Biden administration grapples with what he called a heartbreaking migrant crisis at the southern border. Obama, during an interview with ABC's Good Morning America, said reform to the U.S. immigration system is something that is long overdue. He added that immigration is a tough issue because Americans want to be compassionate, but that the U.S. having open borders is an unsustainable idea. What's that saying? You can't be a welfare state with open borders. It's not sustainable. And that's the issue. No one is against legal immigration, and it is heartbreaking. And you do want to help everyone, especially those, running away from poverty or anything like that. But you also it has to be sustainable, and we have to be able to sustain it. And when our borders are just wide open, we don't have sovereignty as a nation. And how are you going to keep taking everyone in? So that's basically what he's saying. What else did he say? So he went on to champion him. Okay, immigration is tough. It always has been, because on the one hand, I think we naturally are a people that wants to help others. And we see tragedy and hardship in families that are desperately trying to get here so that their kids are safe, and they are in some cases fleeing violence or catastrophe. At the same time, we're a nation state. We have borders. The idea that we can just have open borders is something that, as a practical matter, is unsustainable. And I think that's what conservatives or Republicans have been jumping up and down about for the past 5 years, and have been called every name in the book, when Democrats, when Obama was in office and even before, were always for border security. Oh, okay. So here, I'll get to that in just a second. And this is what happened with those images that were taken. So do you remember the images with the horses and the reins, and everyone was saying that they were whips? Well, they weren't. And a lot of the news publications that came out and said that the border agents were doing awful things, a lot of them did have to redact their stories. But what Obama was saying later, what I actually agreed with, which I never do, is that those images, they looked dysfunctional, and the reason they were doing their jobs, but they looked dysfunctional and they looked scary because we have a dysfunctional system. So when you have a dysfunctional system, you're going to keep getting images like that. I used to work for Denver Human Services, and we had staffing issues. We couldn't staff, and so I worked with a facility, and we had children and teenagers that were neglected at home, and they were with us temporarily while we found placement or did family therapy or something like that, so they could go back in the home. And whenever we had less staff and we had a lot more kids come through, things got a lot more chaotic. And that's what's happening on the border. They're having all of these surges. They don't have a lot of staff. I've talked to a border security agent a few times. Oh yeah, and anytime there's a loophole, and it doesn't matter where you work, whether it's criminal justice, whether it's on the border, it does not matter where you are. If there is a loophole, people are going to find it and they're going to take advantage of it. They just are. Not everyone is, but people will. That's why you have to be careful. And it's sad because a lot of the asylum seekers that come to the US and claim asylum, I think the number is something like 90% of them. Hi, good evening. 90% of them don't actually meet asylum status. And think about all the people around the world that actually would, like Middle Eastern women or anyone like that are actually persecuted for their religious beliefs or for their gender, and other countries in the Middle East. And people coming from the southern border are just stepping right in front of all of those individuals who actually do have legitimate asylum claims. Oh, okay, so someone brought up this Brandon Tatum video. Like in the movie Cesario. That's a really good movie. So many Haitians, so few Cubans. I know, and apparently people are saying there's more coming. I don't know, and we did find out too that... Hi, Master. Thank you for coming here. Yay. We also found out that Biden was supposed to be deporting a lot of them, but actually released many back into the U.S., and he kind of got busted doing that. Also, this is probably good news, but the Senate parliamentarian, so we have this bill that's supposed to be passing, the $3.5 trillion federal spending bill, and they were trying to get amnesty. Let's see.